Hi there, my name is Dari. Welcome to the final session of our mini posture workshop. Here's where we take everything we've learned about our spine, about our pelvis, our shoulders, and our feet, and we're going to put them together into an exercise routine that takes you about 15-20 minutes. You can do it throughout the week that will help you correct and develop a healthy posture. Let's get started on the mat on all fours. We're going to start with a cat position. When you get here, make sure that your knees are right underneath your hips and make sure that your hands are right underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingertips wide and really push down through your knuckles to take some pressure off of your wrists. From there, I want you to articulate through your spine. We start with our nose and then our upper back, our middle back, our low back, and our tailbone is last as we flex into this rainbow arched position. Take a nice big inhale and then start with your head. Your eyes lift. It travels to your upper back, middle back, lower back. Tailbone is last. Extend the back of your neck so you feel length. You don't want to kink it. So exhale and roll through to flexion. Take a nice big inhale. Then exhale to move into extension. Let's do that one more time, but we're going to start the other direction. So start with your tailbone. Tailbone's first, low back, middle and upper back, head drops last. Now let's start with your tailbone picks up, middle back, upper back, long and straight. From here, reach your right foot out so that your right leg is strong and straight. Lift your left elbow. This is your bird dog position. Now, if you feel ready, lift that right long leg off the floor and balance. Just hold this for a moment. Make sure your head is in line with your spine. One more big deep breath and switch hands. So start with your foot on the floor and then reach your arm. When you're ready, pick your foot up. What we're watching for here is hip dip. Don't let your hip dip, okay? Keep it square like we talked about in our pelvis section. Now switch. Let's go back to the right side. Right leg, left arm. Grow long through the top of your head like you're trying to touch the far wall with the crown of your head. Flex your foot and turn all 5 toes toward the floor. Don't let your leg hike up and turn out. And switch. Left leg, right arm, reach. Feel your spine growing longer from your tail through the top of your head. And relax. Now that was bird dog, simple. Let's make it a little more complicated. And reach your right leg out, your left arm forward, and we're going to take the left arm to the side and twist. Try to hold your leg where it is as you thread. This is tricky. Lift and twist. Follow your hand with your eyes. Try to hold your pelvis as still and steady as you can. Let's do one more to make 4. Reach it back up. Let's finish up. And then switch to the other side. So left leg goes back. Right arm's going to reach up first. Now, if that's too much to balance, you can always leave your foot on the floor. I'll do it that way on this side just to show you. And then when you're ready and you're more confident, you can pick that foot up for a bigger challenge. Some days are better than others, so it just depends on where you are. One more big stretch. Twist under and use your eyes. Follow your hand all the way to the top. And replace your feet. Put your feet together and open your knees wide, and let's go into a child's pose. So sit back on your heels, reach your hands out towards the top of your mat, and put your forehead on the floor. Just breathe here for a second. You might feel a good long stretch through your armpits and your lats. Let's walk our fingers, little spider crawls over towards the right. really sit down with your left hip, this far back hip. Sit down so you increase your stretch up that left side of your body. Spider crawl the other direction, come through the center. Go to the other side. Right arm is reaching long. Sit down heavy into your right cheek. Stretching out that side body. Coming back to the center. Forehead down low. Just let everything stretch. And then walk your hands back. We're going to turn over onto our backs. So go ahead and lie down. Bend your knees. Bring your heels to where you can feel them with your fingertips. And reach long with your arms, palms flat to the floor. We're going to start with an ab prep to wake up our abdominals. I want you to imprint, so use your abdominals to pull your pubic bone up towards your nose, and then nod your nose and look through your thighs. Now reverse that to go down, head, then tailbone. Tailbone lifts as you pull your abdominals tight, then lift your head and look through. Roll back down. Let's do that twice more. So exhale as you imprint. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Return to neutral. One more time. Exhale to imprint. Lift up. And now we're going to add a little bit more challenge to that. So pick up your feet. So we call this a tabletop position. Either hold your knees hip width apart or squeeze them together. Either one is fine. But you're going to imprint and then nod and look up and hold it. Use your whole arm as one piece. And we inhale for 5 beats and exhale for 5 beats. This is our 100 for the day. And exhale. Inhale and exhale. If this is starting to strain your neck, just use one hand behind your head to help support it. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. We're halfway there. So inhale. Keep pushing your low back into the floor. And inhale. And exhale. Squeeze those legs. And squeeze those abs. Inhale. One last set. Inhale and exhale. Roll down with your head. Put your feet on the floor. Make sure that they are in line with your sit bones. So my right heel is in line with my right sit bone. My left is in line with my left sit bone, and I can feel my ankles. Imprint, lift the hips up. Exhale, roll back down, keeping your shoulders in the back of your head, pressing into the floor. Find neutral. Take a big inhale. Exhale to move. Inhale to stay. Exhale to move. Shoulders back, shoulders back. Inhale to stay. Exhale to move. Exhale, and then inhale, then exhale to move. Now let's add some marching. So pick up our hips, come to the top, stabilize your right foot, push it into the floor, lift your left, and switch. Make sure you stabilize, then move. Pushing your shoulders back into the floor. Nose is straight to the ceiling. We're lifting. Pick those hips up a little higher. Don't let them start to sink. One more each side. Lift your left leg. Lift your right leg. Both feet. Feel yourself nice and square. Pick your hips up a little bit more. Take an inhale. Exhale. Roll through one vertebra at a time through imprint. Then find neutral. And let's do that marching one more time. Imprint. Pick up your hips. Stabilize your right foot. Pick up your left. And switch. And switch. Good. All this marching. You can bring your hands here to your hips if that helps you. Make sure you're staying square. One more each side. Lift your left and lift your right. Set it down, roll down, and roll over onto your side. We're gonna do some side body work. Get your knees curled up here like this. Move over. And reach your hand out so that we have one line here. Second hand goes to your waist. Just C-grip your waist. You're gonna rock and pick up your hips and come up into this like baby star pose. And come on back down. Let's do 4 of these. And I'll show you how you can do this more advanced. But let's do it this way first. And 4. Now here, you're gonna drop and lift. Drop and lift. So we're working this underside body. Drop. Keep your shoulder down away from this ear. This shoulder stays strong. And sit down. Turn it around. Do it just that same way. We'll come back and do it a second time with a little more intensity. So up we go. You can always adjust. If that first lift you find that you're not where you want to be, just adjust 3 times. Let's do it one more. 4, you're up. Then we lift and lower. Lower, lift, lower, lift. Keep this shoulder strong. It's pushing away from your ear. Lower, lift. Good. 6, we have 2 more. We're doing 8 of these. 7 and 8. Good. Sit down. Flip the legs back around to the other direction. Now you can do this 2 ways. If your wrists are giving you trouble, then do this on your elbow. We just spread our fingers wide and you're on your elbow. That's fine. If you feel strong and ready, put your hand flat out here. You're going to take your top leg forward, your left leg or your bottom leg back, and push yourself up with straight legs. Just stay here and hold. Now if you're on your elbow, it's going to look like this. And we're just going to hold this side plank. Okay? Hold. If you want to add the dips, you go lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift. Good. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, don't let that intimidate you. Wherever you are is fine. You work your body. Turn it around. I'm going to show you on my elbow on this side just so you can see. Push your legs straight. Now, you may just hold here. This is fine, and you can hold it. Get your shoulder right over your elbow so you have a strong base. And you can lower and lift this way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sit it down. Now, if doing it with straight legs is just not where you're at, repeat the way that we did it the first time with the bent knees. You do what you need to do. Okay, let's get on to our feet. So we're going to sit here on our feet, curl your toes back, and rock like a little ball on your feet, forward and back. Just push yourself with your hands. We're rocking like a ball, stretching out the bottoms of our feet, getting them used to bending back and forth. And now we're going to push up all the way to standing. So bring your hands back. Hang over on flat feet. Let your knees bend. So like you're sitting in a chair, bend it deep so that you can keep your ribs on your thighs. You're making a little shelf. Let your head hang. Shake it no. Shake it yes. Shake it no. Stretch out your back. Drop your hips. Shake it yes. Get back out onto your knees. And we're going to walk all the way down onto our tummy for some breaststroke and cobra. So palms go right underneath our shoulders. Point your toes behind you. Just let your forehead rest on the floor without using your arms. Slide your arms back to your lower ribs so they're down and back. Without using the strength of your arms, just your upper back. Lift your nose to hover. off the floor. Take it for 3 breaths. So inhale, exhale. Tighten your belly button. Exhale. So you're supporting your low back with your abdominals. Lower your head. And this time, bring your hands straight to clap your thighs. So your palms are holding your outsides of your thighs. Drop your shoulders to the floor. Lift them up. Drop your shoulders to the floor. Lift them up. Drop. Lift. Drop. Lift. Now hold them and lift your head up off the floor like a long straight arrow. Slide your hands down your thighs. You're reaching towards your toes. Now clench your, not clench, but engage your abdominals so that your low back doesn't get stressed. Almost like you're trying to push your pubic bone into the floor. Everybody lowers. Let's go back to Cobra. So palms on the floor, elbows bent straight up to the ceiling. Slide your hands down next to your bottom rib. Lift up. And now if you feel like you can, lift your hands up off the floor. Just give it a test. Shoulders back, and down. You shouldn't feel stress on the back of your neck. You should be clenching. You should be just holding with your shoulders pressing back. And lower. Now slide your hands to your thighs, shoulders to the floor, and lift. Shoulders to the floor, and lift. Shoulders to the floor, and lift. Shoulders to the floor, lift and stay. Reach your fingertips towards your heels as you rise up off the mat. Head and shoulders. The back of your neck is long. Reaching. Feeling strong. Tighten your belly. Feel your pelvis. Long and straight like your pubic bones pressing into the floor, and lower. Bring your hands to your shoulders. Push back. And let's do a child's pose. So knees open wide. You're sitting on your heels. Reach out long with your hands and come to this resting place. Breathe. And breathe. All good down? Okay, come up onto all fours. Curl your toes under and press up into a downward facing dog. So here we are in a down dog. Bend your knees if you need to. Your arms are right past your ears. Fingers are spread and pressing into the floor. Just let your neck hang, let gravity work and decompress your spine. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend your knees again so you can hang like a rag doll. Let's take our hands, slide one hand under each foot, your toes tickling your wrist. So you're standing, palm to sole, hang your head. You can massage out your wrists, use your toes and give yourself a little massage. Now while you're here, take an exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, stretch them straight. Exhale, bend your knees. Just releasing some tension. Inhale, straighten your knees. And then relax back down. Remove your hands, and we're going to slowly roll up. So with bent knees, very slowly, feel yourself stacking on top of your feet, coming all the way up to upright. Let's do some shoulder circles. We have one more little exercise to go through. Nod your nose, roll down. One vertebra at a time till your fingertips touch the floor. Walk out to the end of your mat and find yourself in a plank. I want you to rock back and forth to stretch out your toes a little bit. And then on your forward, bend your elbows, hug them into your side, and then push up into an upward facing dog. Your legs are straight, your knees are lifted from the floor, stretching the tops of your feet. Use your abdomen. So this starts in your belly button. Pull with your stomach and flip yourself back into a downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Be jello. Hang, hang, hang. Nod your head. Slowly stack your bones. Make that Jenga tower. Roll up. Let your head be heavy. Heavy, 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 heavy. Stand at the top. Couple of shoulder rolls. You're going to do that same thing again. I want you to feel like you're really strong and straight. Your nose is the leader. Hang your head. And then let everything drip down, following your nose. Fingertips to the floor. Soften the backs of your knees. You might be feeling a little more limber. You might be a little more straight. Walk your hands out. Find your plank. Now rock forward and back. Forward and back. Stretching out your feet. Hug your elbows in for a little push-up. Halfway down. Push them straight. Find up-facing dog. Point your toes. On your toenails on the floor. Now use your stomach. Nod your nose. Pull up. Flip onto the backs of the soles of your feet and hold your downward facing dog. Strong arms. Remember in our session too, when we talked about shoulders, keeping your shoulders away from your ears. This is where you need to use that. Let your head hang heavy and your neck is long so that your shoulders can separate from your ears. Walk your hands back to your feet. Hang heavy. Rolling up. And we have one last time. Nod your nose. Rolling down. Bend your knees. Fingertips touch the floor. Just sag over your legs. Walking your hands out. Find your plank. Forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. Now, as you're forward, snuggle those elbows inside. Halfway down. Push your arms straight. Lift your chest. Open your collarbones. Now tighten your tummy. Lift it up. And find that downward facing dog for that really good stretch. Walk your hands back in, hanging over your toes. Now while you're right here, looking at your toes, I want you to pick them all up and do your piano toes with your hands and fingers together. Baby toe, ring, middle, pointer, thumbs and toes. So everything comes up, all 20 digits. Start with the babies, the rings, the middles, the pointers, and the greats. Twice more, lift everything up. Feel your feet. Sometimes it's easier to do it this way with your hands because your feet will just sort of follow. We got one more, lift them up. Pinkies, rings, middles, pointers, thumbs. Now engage your stomach and start to rise, rise, rise. Lower your shoulders back, rolling, rolling, rolling. Feel how tall and steady you are. Let your hands hang. Notice where your palms are facing and feel nice and strong. You have woken up all your posture muscles and done some exercises for your back extensors, rotators, your hip stabilizers. We've worked everything. So now everybody's awake and should help you carry yourself through your day in a proper, healthy posture. Thank you so much for joining me for this posture workshop. In this short amount of time we've been able to have together, I hope you have benefited and maybe learned something about your body that you didn't know before. So as you go through your day, your homework is to just self-assess as you go through habitual things. When you're brushing your teeth, you're washing your dishes, or maybe when you're standing and speaking to your customers at the counter, take a moment and check, how am I holding my posture? We want our skeletons to last as long as possible. So let's help them by being stacked tall and straight where it's easiest for our muscles to keep us there. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, my name is Dori, and I hope to see you again for another workshop.